Drought and wildfires threaten Highlands. Sam Heughan's distillery faces biggest raw material crisis since its founding. Edinburgh, 28:10 for 2025. While Scotland is still known for its cold mists and lush green fields, 2025 is witnessing a different reality. The Highlands are parched forests are burning and streams that once fed distilleries are disappearing. And in the heart of the worst-hit region, Sassenach Spirits, the brand founded by Outlander actor Sam Heughan, is struggling to stay afloat in what experts are calling the worst drought in 40 years. From burnt forest to dry fields, supply crippled. Glenmoriston and Speyside, Scotland's barley heartland, have been hit by droughts lasting more than 70 days. The rains that are typically a hallmark of autumn have been largely absent this year. According to an internal report by Sassenach Spirits, 40% of the main barley farms supplying the distillery have been directly affected, with some of them burnt or rendered unusable in the short term. Satellite images released by SAPA show fields around Loch Ness and Glen Ord turning grey-brown instead of their traditional green hues. This is far beyond what we had planned for, a technical spokesman for the distillery said. Temperatures were 6 degrees Celsius higher than average in September and October, and the humidity dropped dramatically, hampering the germination of barley. Some fields had to be abandoned. In addition to barley, water resources, a vital element in whiskey production, are also in serious decline. Many small streams flowing from the Cairngorms have dried up, forcing the distillery to reduce distillation capacity to 60% of normal levels to ensure compliance with environmental regulations. Difficulties compound when water becomes the most valuable asset. For Scotch whisky, water is more than just an ingredient. It's the soul. Each distillery relies on its own natural water source, which contains the minerals that give it its distinctive flavor. Sassenach Spirits prides itself on underground spring water that has been filtered through granite for centuries. But this year, the water table has dropped to a record low, forcing a temporary change to the production process. A senior engineer at the distillery, who asked not to be named, said, "We never thought we would have to ration water. There were days when we could only distill half a batch because there wasn't enough water for the whole line. The filtration and cooling systems had to run at reduced capacity, causing disruptions to the line. The oak barrels being aged were also affected as the humidity in the warehouse dropped, causing an unusually high evaporation rate, or angel's share as the industry calls it, which is more than double the average this year." Wildfires spread to oak harvesting areas. Another factor worrying the Sassenach distillery is that wildfires are getting closer to the oak supply area, which is the raw material for the barrels. The Cairngorm National Park saw more than 30 small fires in September, burning hundreds of young oak trees. The wood used to make casks must be over 70 years old. The loss of these trees is a loss that will last for decades. For the whiskey industry, losing oak is like losing a memory, says Sassenach's wood and aging expert Fergus McNeill. The unique flavors of Sassenach are created by the chemical reaction between the spirit and the wood. If the wood is damaged, we could lose a generation of flavors. Economic impact and supply chain. Outside the distillery, the supply chain for raw materials is also in disarray. Many road transporters have had to temporarily stop operations due to road closures to control wildfires. Freight rates for barley have increased by 30% in just 3 weeks, while energy costs for cooling the cellars have doubled due to the high temperatures. Investors and international distributors have begun to question whether the Sassenach Reserve 2026 will be released on time. Some experts predict that Sassenach Spirits production could fall by as much as 40% next year, pushing up market prices and delaying shipments to the US. Sam Heughan: "We're not just losing the raw material, we're losing a part of the soul of the land." In a recent interview with the Scotsman, Sam Heughan couldn't hide his emotion when talking about the situation. "I was born in the woods, in the mist and in the rocks. I never thought I'd see those hills burn." Sassenach is more than a brand. It's a memory, the smell of the earth after rain, the sound of water running over rocks. To lose that is to lose our soul. He said the team was working on a 3-part contingency plan, working with farms in the North Skye region, which has not been hit by the severe drought, to temporarily import barley, investing in new groundwater filtration and storage systems to reduce reliance on natural springs. Starting the program Sassenach Rewild, which donates profits to reforest the Highlands with a target of 100,000 trees in 3 years. Scottish whisky industry sounds alarm bells. Environmental experts warn that Scotland's drought is no longer an anomaly, it's the first sign of climate change hitting one of the country's most iconic industries. Ewan McGregor, a climatologist at the University of Aberdeen, said, "We're seeing a change in rainfall patterns. Areas that used to be wet all year round are now facing scorching sun. If nothing is done, Scotland's pride and joy could be the next victim of the global climate crisis." A report by the Scotch Whisky Association (SWA) says more than 15% of small distilleries are temporarily shutting down due to water shortages, while large businesses like Sassenach Spirits have gone into extreme resource-saving mode. Hope from the resilience of the Scottish people. Despite the difficulties, the spirit of solidarity among the people of the Highlands has once again been rekindled. Hundreds of local volunteers have joined in to fight the fires, protecting the remaining forests around the distillery. Farmers have donated leftover barley to support the distillery through the emergency period. On social media, the Sassenach Save the Highlands and Raise a Sassenach campaigns have gone viral, with thousands posting photos of themselves raising glasses of whiskey with the message, "A drop of Sassenach, a prayer for Scotland." Hope in the rain. The weather forecast suggests the first rains could return in mid-November. If they do, the streams in Glen Moriston will flow again and the barren land may be brought back to life. But whether the rain comes or not, the spirit of Sassenach, of Sam Heughan and the Highlanders will not die. For them, every drop of whiskey is not just a drink, but proof that even in drought, hope can still be distilled from ashes.